Hey everyone, welcome back to GNOME's Linux News. Let's kick things off with something that'll affect millions of Linux users out there. According to OMG Ubuntu, the Ubuntu 26.04 LTS upgrade is now officially available for anyone running Ubuntu 25.10. And here's the thing, if you're still on 25.10, you're going to want to make the jump soon since support for that version ends in July. The new LTS release, codenamed Resolute Raccoon, arrived back on April 23rd, and it's packed with goodies. We're talking GNOME 50, the latest Linux 7.0 kernel, fresh default apps, and some really nice quality-of-life improvements. There's a brand new set of folder icons, visual password feedback when you use sudo commands, and the Snap Store Plus web searching features have been integrated right into the GNOME shell overview. If you're a Ubuntu Pro user, you can now enable it directly from the Security Center. It's definitely worth upgrading if you're on 25.10. Now let's talk about what's coming down the pipeline for GNOME users. According to Fornix, the upcoming GNOME 51 desktop release is on track to retire the classic GNOME System Monitor and replace it with the new GNOME Resources app. This is a significant shift in how users will interact with system information and monitoring on their machines. The Resources app represents a fresh take on how we display CPU usage, memory information, and other critical system metrics. It's part of GNOME's ongoing effort to modernize and streamline the desktop experience. If you're a System Monitor user today, don't worry. The transition should be pretty smooth once GNOME 51 rolls out. This next story is huge for the Linux gaming community. Fornix is reporting that one of the foremost leading Mesa developers who was working at AMD has just joined Valve. This is a major talent acquisition for Valve, and it shows they're serious about expanding their open-source Linux graphics driver team. For those who might not know, the Mesa library is absolutely critical for Linux GPU drivers and graphics performance overall. By bringing in this expertise from AMD, Valve is strengthening their ability to deliver better gaming experiences on Linux, whether that's through improved compatibility, performance, or new feature support. This move really underscores how important Linux gaming has become for these major companies. Security alert time, folks. Fornix is reporting on a serious vulnerability called SSH_PWN that was disclosed yesterday, and it's a pretty nasty one. The vulnerability allows unprivileged users to read files that are owned by root, which is a big deal for system security. The good news is that the Linux kernel team moved fast. Today, Linux 7.0.8 was released alongside updates to all the LTS kernels to patch this issue. If you're running a production server, or even just a personal machine connected to the internet, you're definitely going to want to update your kernel ASAP. This is one of those vulnerabilities where the fix is critical and shouldn't be delayed. Rocky Linux even launched an optional security repository this week specifically to get important fixes like these out to users faster. So yeah, get those updates installed. Moving over to the KDE side of things, there's some exciting news. According to Fornix, KDE Plasma 6.7 beta was released this week, and even with beta status, the team managed to squeeze in some last-minute features. The big ones include significant enhancements to Plasma's built-in remote desktop server, which makes it easier to manage your system remotely, plus improved notification effects that make alerts more visually polished. Fornix also tested out the Plasma Big Screen Revival, which is the TV-sized UI version of Plasma, and reported that it's working remarkably well. The experience was described as very smooth, which is impressive for a beta release. If you're a Plasma user or thinking about trying it out, Plasma 6.7 is shaping up to be a solid release with meaningful improvements to core functionality. Here's some great news for Linux gamers. Fornix is reporting that the widely used SDL3 library has just added native support for Valve's new Steam controller. And here's the best part. You don't need Steam running to use it. Valve's new Steam controller, which began shipping earlier this month for $99, is amazing hardware. But the tight integration with Steam was limiting for developers and users who wanted to use it outside of the Steam ecosystem. With SDL support, any cross-platform game or application can now recognize and use the Steam controller natively. There's also another improvement that just merged. Steam controller mapping support was added to SDL as well, giving developers even more flexibility. This is huge for the Linux gaming community because it opens up the controller for use in non-Steam games emulators, and all kinds of other applications. If you're into system stability and reliability, you'll appreciate this next update. According to Fornix, Memtest 86 Plus 8.10 was released today as a significant update to this legendary open-source RAM testing software. For those unfamiliar, Memtest 86 Plus is the gold standard for testing your computer's memory to catch hardware issues before they cause problems. This new version brings improved support for newer hardware, which is critical because memory technology keeps evolving with faster speeds and new architectures. Whether you're building a new workstation, troubleshooting a sketchy system, or doing regular maintenance on your server hardware, Memtest 86 Plus remains an essential tool in the Linux toolbox. The fact that it's getting active updates means it'll keep working well with the latest and greatest hardware you throw at it. Finally, let's wrap up with some news for all you Windows game and application enthusiasts on Linux. According to Fornix, Wine 11.9 was released today as the newest bi-weekly development release. This version is getting closer to the Wine 12.0 milestone, and there's some solid improvements here. Wine 11.9 adds Wayland pointer warp support, which is important for modern display servers on Linux, plus initial support for system threads. These improvements help Wine better handle the growing number of applications that rely on these features. For those running older Windows games and applications on Linux through Wine, these incremental updates are what keep the compatibility improving over time. If you're using Proton for gaming or Wine for business applications, staying current with these releases helps ensure everything runs as smoothly as possible.